Hello and happy Friday. I am Becky Tuttle and I am Vice Mayor for the City of Wichita, and I'm also council member representing District 2. And today I have Councilmember Ballard with me. Maggie, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Happy Friday.
Yes.
How was your week?
It was great.
Yeah.
It's been a long one, I feel like.
The longest short week ever is what I told someone. And so I kind of have a rule that someday, if I'm ever in charge of the world, I don't know how that would ever work, but all holidays that are on Mondays will be on Fridays. Because otherwise you just hate Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
So since we didn't have work Monday, most people didn't through the government or for non-for-profits and different things, but it's just kind of been an odd week. So I'm excited for next week actually to get back just into the routine.
Yes.
Get back into the swing of things.
I totally agree. Looks like we have a packed agenda for next week. I'm super excited about the program for the equipment for the first responders for the overdose recovery kit that to work on fighting the opioid epidemic that we are all seeing.
Yeah, it's just, I had a really robust discussion with the city manager Monday Tuesday, I guess, during our weekly meeting. We didn't work Monday, but I've been a substance abuse counselor in the past, right? And so worked and lived and served during what most people then call the crack epidemic. And then we saw meth come. But fentanyl's just an entirely different drug, and mostly because of the fact that the transfer can happen. So, when you're using lots of other drugs, it's just the individual who's utilizing the substance that gets hurt. But in this case, other people can too. So just something we've never seen before, and really this seems like a good opportunity to help and keep people safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Safe Streets has been working really hard on this, so I'm excited to be able to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
And hopefully it pays off for the community.
Yeah, and I've been involved in the Safe Streets Coalition for years. I used to be a really active member before I was on council, so glad to see them and have them bring this opportunity to us.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. We will also be discussing our contract for security cameras in the city, so I feel like that's always going to be super important for our safety and everyone else.
Yeah, we have security cameras and then we have access control systems, right? And I think they have to be repaired and replaced pretty periodically. So like with most things that we spend our very precious treasure with, we go out to bid. So we had a request for proposal and we had our staff selection committee, and it seems like there's one company that was equipped to be able to do both aspects, the security camera and the control access. So interesting to learn more about that.
Yep, awesome.
And then we're also going to be hearing a supplemental design agreement for Clapp Park Master Plan. And I'm excited about this. We saw the master plan for Clapp during a workshop, I can't even remember how long ago it was, but had so much community involvement, and that is always near and dear to my heart. But it looks like now we're going to kind of take a step back because more community involvement. We have a new council member who has some good ideas that he wants to share and to have his input, and they all sound wonderful. I am just going to put a little throwdown out there that I think Harrison Park is the best dog park in the city of Wichita. So I'll be curious to see what they do at Clapp Park. But Harrison's in my district, and I'm really quite proud of it. But I love the idea of the inclusive playground. It just sounds great. So
yep, yeah. I'm excited to learn a lot more about that too, and I know that Councilmember Hoheisel is very excited about that. So
good on him. I'll be excited to hear what he's going to propose to us.
Yes.
The other thing that we're going to do, I have my title of vice mayor for about 3 or 4 more days. As I was pulling into my parking spot today, I thought, ooh, this is my last Friday. I'll be able to park here. So on Tuesday we will have the transitioning of the vice mayor, and so every year we recommend a succession plan for the city of Wichita. So we have the mayor and the vice mayor, and then we have a succession plan with the other council members, and that's truly just in case there's an emergency or functions of the system. So for example, if the mayor couldn't attend something and then I couldn't attend something as vice mayor, then in the succession plan that would determine the order. So it just provides, I guess, some structure, if you will. And so we'll be looking at the succession plan and then also transitioning to a new vice mayor, so somebody else will get the great parking spot.
That sounds awesome. I'm excited to see where that goes as well. It looks like we will also be discussing the government organization of award for the finance staff report that we've been recognized for several years.
Yeah, our budget book. Every year we win an award. Our finance
team. Which is overwhelming.
Yes, I know. It always helps my Taller Than a Tuttle project, though.
Yes.
That's what I tell people, so I appreciate that part of it. But our finance team is just so rock solid and does such a good job. And the thing that I've always had budgets since I've started my career a long, long time ago. I'm old, but never a budget this massive and this complicated. And every time I go and talk to them or I want to dig into something deeper, I'm amazed that they can answer my questions so quickly and easily, but also explain it so that I can understand it, right? That's a real skill. Because sometimes you get in your own speak,
Sure.
and especially getting in finance or budget speak, and that's not my background, that's not my area of expertise. So I'm always really grateful for the staff for all the work that they do.
Yes,
Yeah.
I totally agree. Sometimes they get in there a little lingo, and I'm like, wait, can you explain that a little bit differently,
What I always
please?
say to staff is our content experts, no matter what department, if it's park and rec or housing or finance or whatever it may be, and I've said this from the bench before, can you please explain this to me like you would explain it to your neighbor if you were at the mailbox, right? Like, it's otherwise sometimes they get so excited, and as their subject matter experts, they forget that not everybody knows what they're talking about.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So do you have any big goals for 2023?
I do. I've put some thought into this of some things that I'm hopeful for. In 2022, I was extremely grateful that the city and the county jointly adopted the master food plan, and so we'll be starting to really, now that we have a joint food policy council together, I'm excited to see portions of that implemented and to see what we can do to make some strides that all residents in our community have more access to healthy food. So that's something that I'm interested in. Also, most people never say they're very excited about WAMPO, but I am. But the Wichita Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, we're going to be working on developing a safety plan. And so my work in the past, before I was on council and now, to support active transportation, walking and biking for transportation and not just recreation. So I'm excited to see the development of a safety plan for our region that's regionally significant. And then two other things that I'm quite passionate about is homelessness and then also child care. So people always ask, like, what do you think are the three biggest needs of the city or the three biggest issues? And I say, depends on the day, right? Whatever kind of pops up or whatever.
You get lots of curveballs.
Right, whatever happens. But throughout my last few years on council, those have been some things that I've consistently worked on. So excited to maybe see some more things come to fruition. How about you?
Oh, yeah. I just want to continue to keep working on some of the things that I started last year. Still kind of learning how long some things take, which
Absolutely.
has been a pretty incredible process. So I'm going to continue to work on some of my DV initiatives.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're going to continue to work on the tree policy.
Yeah.
Water accessibility is really important to me. It sounds like we're going to talk about more accessibility to public bathrooms, which is really important. So just some of those things I'm going to continue to work hard on and try to support other council members' initiatives as well, so that it seems like we get more done that way.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you for saying that. That's a really important point. Personally, then some goals. Every year I say that I'm going to try and eat healthier and get more physical activity. So certainly we'll try and do that. And then I had some challenges last year personally with my family. But one of the benefits that came from that is I have a sister that I haven't necessarily been super close with, but now we are.
Great.
And so I'm really excited just to kind of celebrate things with her that I haven't gotten to in the past.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's important.
Well, thanks for
to me
sharing.
too.
That's great.
Absolutely. How about you? Any personal goals?
I would love to travel a little bit more.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always super important. My son is full into every sport possible under the sun, I feel like. So just continuing to be supportive of the things that he likes to do as well. And work is time consuming, and we have our nonprofit and it's growing like crazy. And just kind of continuing to keep doing what we're doing.
That's awesome. Good for you. Well, good luck in your goals.
Yes.
And if I can help you, let me know.
I will do that. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to subscribe and follow on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast.
Happy Friday.